Hello, I'm Vincent White, Wilmington City Council member for the 1st District. I'm here with Inspector Henry Rose of the Wilmington Fire Department to discuss fire safety in our community. Thanks for joining me today, Inspector Rose.
Thank you for having me.
Let's get right into it. The first key to fire safety is fire prevention, right? And what are some of the common practices to prevent fires?
Well, one of the biggest things is, and it's been on the national stage for some time, is community risk reduction. Basically taking the things that we've already been doing in the community, engaging members by talking to them, giving them fire prevention presentations, getting out and speaking with everyone directly, old and young. That's the first start. And in doing so, then we can attempt to articulate some of the things we need to do with regard to fire safety, smoke detectors, alarms, things of that nature.
Speaking of smoke detectors, how can residents ensure, one, if they have smoke detectors, that their smoke detectors are in working order? And two, if they don't have smoke detectors, what is the Wilmington Fire Department in a position to help them do?
Great question. So one of the things that has been implemented by my Deputy Chief Pabon has been our smoke detector hotline. That hotline, I manage that on a daily basis. Residents can call into that hotline, leave their name, their telephone number, and their address. And due to our wonderful partnership with the American Red Cross, all of our smoke detectors are provided free of charge. We make the installation and we provide the smoke detectors as well.
Great, that's important to know. When I was a kid, and I remember when it was Fire Safety Month, they always talked about having an escape plan. How important is having an escape plan in case there is a fire?
Very important. It's no different than when you were, speaking of when we were younger, when we were in school. You know, you had a fire alarm and everyone had to hear the bells, look at the lights, and follow their teacher or instructor to go outside. Well, we want you to do the same thing at home with your parents. You know, the kids, we want you to have an opportunity to talk about at least two ways out of the home, right? We're talking about a window or we're talking about a door. I get it, if you're on the second or third floor, you may have to have some other type of plan, but having a plan is key. Not waiting to do it when there is emergency, but doing one prior. And being able to establish when you get out the house, you get out, you stay out, you don't go back inside. You want to ensure that immediately you want to call 911 and have a place that where you feel comfortable. It could be a neighbor's house, it could be the park across the street, it could be the tree on the corner, but somewhere where your parents know where you're going to be.
All right, that's great information. So a lot of us now, COVID is over, a lot of us are going out, we're in public places, large public gatherings. How important it is to be aware of fire escapes and other information signs in a public place? Should people have an escape plan there?
Well, it's funny you should ask that. In every establishment, there should be something posted as far as their fire exit. Exit signs should be lit. So being a firefighter for over the last 22 years, I've gotten in a place where when I go to establishments, I'm looking around trying to make sure where the exits are. I keep my back to the door. That's just a personal thing. My wife gets on me about it. But if you are able to pay attention, at least know two ways out of that restaurant. Right? Some of the major fires that we've seen at nightclubs or whatever that have killed hundreds of people have because most people know one way in, and that's the only way they think of when in a case of emergency, how they get out. So at least know a second way out. Even if you have to run through the kitchen, there's a side door somewhere where you can get out of the building.
How can the community support the efforts of the Wilmington Fire Department and providing for a safe community? What can the residents do?
I'm glad you asked that. One of the things that I felt was most difficult coming into this position is engaging with the community and getting their unwavering support. Not because they don't want it, but you're more worried about crime. You're more worried about drug selling on the block, derelicts, homelessness, things of that nature, right? You're worried about how you're gonna feed your family. You're not worried about if it's the difference between a bag of rice and a smoke detector, you're gonna pick that bag of rice. So I think it's important to identify a lot of the issues that we have in the community and ensure that the residents know immediately if there's a problem, call 911. When we come to these community meetings, we want your support. Speak up on your behalf. If you got a question, the old adage, see something, say something, let us know. And if we're failing to do our part in the community, also make us aware of things that we can do better.
Thank you, Inspector Rose, for your valuable insights and keeping our community safe. Remember, fire prevention is a collective effort. Let's all work together to protect our loved ones and our city. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, Wilmington.